So when I first got started, so my parents became Orthodox when I was 11, so we're both Tshuva, and we went fully kosher at that point. My dad was always very interested in Yiddishkeit. We'd always kept kosher, quasi-kosher out, and we had actually driven to a frum shul for a while. My parents got involved through the Venice community, maybe 25 years ago, and I was not intending on going into politics. I was always very interested in politics. I was always very interested in history. I wrote a 150-page report on Civil War generals when I was in 7th grade, so I've always been very into this sort of stuff. I've always read incessantly about history and politics because I just find it fascinating. But I thought that when I went to college, I thought I was actually going to major in genetic science and music. Because I was a world-class violinist at the time. And when I walked onto campus, one of the first things that I saw was an editorial in the Daily Bruin, the UCLA newspaper, that was comparing Ariel Sharon, who was then Prime Minister of Israel, to Adolf Eichmann, the Nazi. And so I walked into the office of the Daily Bruin. I said, "This is a terrible piece. Can I write a response?" And they said, "Sure." And it sort of took off from there. Like I wrote a piece. I was walking through the office one time, and they said, "We need somebody to write a counterpoint to another piece." And I said, "Sure." It turned into a point-counterpoint column, then it turned to a regular column, and then I went to my father and I said, "Is my stuff good enough, you think, to be in a regular paper?" And my dad said, "Yeah, let me do a little research." And he came up with Creator Syndicate, which was a syndicator. They send out my column to a bunch of different papers. We didn't know anybody there, we didn't have any connections. I just sent my stuff cold, and they picked me up. So at 17, I was a syndicated columnist on politics. So at 16 I started writing columns, and at 17 I was a syndicated columnist on politics. So from there it was just a step-by-step progress. I had my first book at 20, I had my second book at 21, I was at Harvard Law at 20. So it's sort of just you go in the direction that my view of kind of career is that you're the water and there are walls in front of you, and there are two strategies. One is you can try to plow through the wall and fail, or the second is that you can move along the base of the wall until you find a crack. And you sort of have to go where the path takes you.